9 out of 10 people who start learning coding quit. Not after years, not even after months. Most quit within the first few weeks. And the crazy part, it's not because coding is too hard. It's because beginners make a few critical mistakes nobody warns them about. If you're learning to code right now, this video might save you months or even years of frustration. Because today, I'm breaking down why 90% of coding beginners fail and how you can be in the 10% who actually make it. 10 years ago, coding was a niche skill. Today, millions of people are trying to learn it. You see ads everywhere where you learn coding in 3 months. Get a 6-figure job. Work remotely from anywhere. So people start learning with huge motivation. New laptop, new course, YouTube playlists saved. Day one feels exciting. But then something happens. The tutorials get harder. The errors start appearing. And suddenly, nothing makes sense anymore. That's the moment where most beginners quietly give up. So let's talk about why that happens. Reason 1, the wrong motivation. The first mistake happens before you even write your first line of code. It's the reason you started. A lot of beginners start coding for one reason only: money, the 6-figure salary, remote work, freedom, and yes, those things exist in tech. But here's the problem: when coding gets difficult, and it will, money alone isn't enough motivation to push you through the frustration. Because coding at the beginning doesn't feel exciting. It feels confusing. Sometimes you'll spend 3 hours debugging one error message. I remember when I first started learning JavaScript. I spent hours trying to fix a bug, and the problem? A missing semicolon. That moment makes you question everything. Maybe I'm not smart enough for this. But the people who succeed aren't necessarily smarter. They simply find something about coding they genuinely enjoy. Maybe it's solving puzzles. Maybe it's building things. Maybe it's the creativity. It doesn't have to be passion. But it has to be more than just money. Reason 2, nobody warned you how hard the beginning is. Here's something important: that beginners find coding difficult not because they're incapable, but because coding requires a completely new way of thinking. Think about everything your brain is trying to process at once. What is a variable? Why does the order of code matter? What does this error message even mean? Why did the tutorial work, but your version doesn't? On top of that, the tech world is massive. You learn HTML, then someone says learn CSS, then JavaScript, then React, then Node, then databases. It starts to feel like you're climbing a mountain that never ends. And when beginners see that huge mountain, they assume something is wrong with them. But nothing is wrong. You're simply at the hardest stage of learning. Once the fundamentals click, everything becomes much easier. But many beginners quit right before that moment happens. Reason 3, tutorial hell. Now this is one of the biggest traps in learning to code, and it feels like you're making progress. Here is what happens. You watch a tutorial, you follow along, you type exactly what the instructor types, and it works. You feel amazing. You think, wow, I'm actually learning to code. Then you close the tutorial, open a blank file, and suddenly your brain goes completely blank. You don't know where to start. That's called tutorial hell. Watching someone code is not the same as knowing how to code. It's like watching cooking videos every day, but never actually cooking. The real learning happens when you try to build something yourself. Even if it's messy, even if it breaks, especially if it breaks, because every bug you fix teaches you how programming actually works. Reason 4, no roadmap. Another huge reason beginners fail is lack of structure. Self-teaching sounds amazing. Learn anytime, learn anywhere. Thousands of free resources. But too many options create a new problem. Confusion. Week 1, Python. Week 3, maybe JavaScript is better. Week 5, should I learn React? Week 6, I heard Rust is the future. And before you know it, you've started 5 courses but finished none. Here's the truth. Knowing a little bit of 10 languages is useless. Knowing one language well is powerful. Successful learners don't constantly switch paths. They pick one path and stick with it long enough to get good. Reason 5, imposter syndrome. Learning to code can feel incredibly lonely. You're reading Stack Overflow answers that make no sense. You're looking at GitHub projects that feel like alien technology. And everywhere online, you see people who seem way ahead of you. Eventually, a thought appears. Everyone else understands this, except me. That feeling is called imposter syndrome, and it hits beginners hard. But here's the reality. Every developer, even experienced ones, deals with bugs and confusion daily. The difference is they've learned not to panic when something breaks. They treat errors like puzzles, not proof that they should quit. Reason 6, the AI fear. Recently, there's a new reason beginners are quitting. AI. Every week you see headlines like, AI will replace programmers. ChatGPT writes better code. So beginners think, why should I even learn coding? But experienced developers aren't panicking because they understand something important. AI is a tool, not a replacement. AI can generate code, but it doesn't understand the bigger system. It doesn't know your project goals, and it often produces bugs. Developers who understand programming can use AI 10 times faster, but someone who doesn't understand code will just produce broken software faster. AI doesn't replace developers. It amplifies skilled developers. How to be in the 10%. Now let's talk about what the successful 10% do differently. And honestly, it's simpler than most people think. Move 1, pick one path. Stop asking, should I learn Python or JavaScript? Just pick one. Choose a language. Choose a learning resource. Choose a goal and commit to it for 6 months. Progress comes from depth, not constant switching. Move 2. Build projects immediately after every concept you learn. Build something. Learn loops. Build a number guessing game. Learn a P is. Build a weather app. Projects force your brain to think like a programmer, not just copy tutorials. Move 3. Create accountability. Motivation disappears quickly. Structure keeps you going. Or in a coding community, share your projects. Post your progress online. When other people can see your progress, you're far more likely to keep going. Move 4, accept the struggle. Here's the biggest mindset shift. Struggling with code doesn't mean you're bad at programming. It means you're learning programming. Every bug is a clue. Every confusing concept is a step forward. Progress in coding is slow at first, but it compounds. Before you leave this video, do one thing. Open your Notes app. Write down 3 things. The programming language you are committing to. 1 small project you will build this week. 1 place you will share your progress. 3 lines. 2 minutes. That small action already puts you ahead of most beginners. Now tell me in the comments, what language are you starting with? Python, JavaScript, something else? Your comment becomes your first public commitment, and I'll be reading them. And if you're serious about becoming a developer, my next video will show you the exact roadmap I would follow if I were starting coding from zero today. The languages, the order to learn them, the projects to build, and how to go from beginner to your first job. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Remember this, the difference between the 90% who quit and the 10% who succeed isn't talent. It's simply the decision to keep going when things get difficult. If you're still watching this video, you're already ahead of most people who tried. Now go prove it. See you in the next one.